back, guys. This is Automotive Anonymous. That is a Dodge Ram TRX with the Hellcat engine. It's in a color that I like to call black, and today we're going to review it. That means we're going to do our typical walk around, go through the specs, initial driving impressions, 0 to 60 with the GPS, and final thoughts to decide, should you guys find a 2021 to a 2023 Dodge Ram TRX, or should you be looking at the competition like the new Raptor R, or maybe a lesser model like the regular Raptor, a ZR2, maybe an F-150 Tremor, or a Ram Rebel, something else all entirely? Or should you just decide to stay at home and order a Prius online? It's totally up to you. They're all good options, but today we're gonna find out, is it worth nearly $100,000? And I've got to say, I've been looking forward to driving one of these for quite a while because it's literally the pinnacle of truck. It's a pushrod 16 valve central camshaft engine, makes 702 horsepower, and honestly, what a cool body style. I drove the Trackhawk Jeep about a month ago, if you guys want to check out that video. But what I don't like about the other Hellcat models like the Durango and the Trackhawk is that the bodies are nearly identical to the lesser trim models, whereas the Ram TRX has a wide body kit, has a much better, much more aggressive hood with amber lighting to signify its width. It even has functional aero, which you guys know I like. And before we continue on with the nitty-gritty specs that you'll need to bring out your notepad and paper for, if you like the TRX, if you want to see more videos of this caliper of vehicle, like this video, show your support. Anyways, we'll dive right in. New for 2023 is really just the Baja yellow paint job, or the Havoc edition of the TRX that you can buy. Otherwise, everything has remained the same for this model year. There's really not a whole lot to improve upon. Dodge pretty regularly sells about 500,000 Rams in the United States every single year. This is still part of the 5th generation that started in 2019, although the TRX wasn't announced until 2020, debuting for the 2021 model year. And they sell quite a few of these. I probably notice about 2 or 3 of these every single day on my drive to and from my day job. Granted, that is about an 80-mile round-trip commute. But do I ever get tired of seeing these? Absolutely not. They have so much characteristics, so much bold appearance on the road, and you feel pretty good driving one. With the extra fender bulge, it's about 7 1/3 feet wide, 6 3/4 feet tall, and then roughly 19 feet long. The wheelbase is about 12 feet, so it's pretty well planted, pretty stable on the road. It weighs roughly 6,400 pounds, has just under a whole foot of ground clearance. 4-wheel drive is basically the standard option, so typically you're just going to leave it in 4 auto. It takes about 48 feet to do a full circle. It has a 33-gallon gas tank, so when you're getting 10 miles per gallon city, 14 on the highway, you're going to be road tripping for about 460 miles if you're conservative and not listening to the beautiful noise that comes from that supercharger running 11 pounds of boost. It comes factory with a 335, 65, 18 Goodyear Wrangler tire and a really nice wheel, giving it about a 30-degree approach angle and roughly a 25-degree departure angle. The final drive ratio is a 355, so the way it's configured, it can tow about 8,100 pounds or have a payload capacity of roughly 1,300 pounds. So it's not going to win any competitions in how much it can lift or tow, but in suspension travel with those Bilsteins, that's where it's going to shine, and how smooth this is on and off road. I think together we've decided now that the base model starting at about $86,000 is worth it on the exterior alone. So we're going to dive right in and find out if the interior is worth it. But first, let's hear it start up. And we're going to do some revs. All right, time to get into the cabin and see what it has to offer. The door panel looks really nice. There's a lot of differing materials in here, but they're very soft touch, very high end for the door cards. The handle, your fingers fall through, and you got the double pocket, which I really like. Unnamed speaker, but 2 bottles. How can you complain with that? Electronic running board, which goes the length from the front to the back of the cabin. And then Ram on the door sill. We have just a basic Ram all-weather mat. Aluminum pedals, but no dead pedal, kind of weird. Electronic parking brake, some of your options there, lighting, your wiper stock right there. And then powered heated leather seats with TRX stamped in, and the big old pano roof. Inside the TRX is a nice place to be. You can see the hood bulge, and it's a really nice interior, but let's fire it up with the push button start. TRX comes to life, the needles do their little dance, And here we have it, a really nice heated leather wrapped wheel. Has the 6 o'clock position with some fake carbon fiber type of a theme. Feels really good. You have giant paddle shifters. On what other trucks do you have paddle shifters that are that large? Interior is really comfortable. Everything's easy to get to where it needs to be. You have all of your voice controls on the left, cruise control on the right. The horn sounds pretty decent, pretty average for a Ram. You have your launch control and your 4x4 settings right there. And then you have the giant, nearly a foot diagonal, digital display that you can go through all of your stuff. And the backup camera is decent. Takes about half the screen, trajectory lines move with you. You have a little bit of storage and a 12-volt direct current charge up there. Otherwise, you have a few more storage components, a few more USB plugins and places to slide your phone into. A couple cup holders right here. And then you got the 2-stage center console. And the Rams are pretty big. And there it is. There's one of the logos of the Ram truck and a T-Rex eating a raptor. Is anyone surprised? I'm not. Up top, you have your garage door openers. You have all of your controls for the lighting, and for the roof, you have just a basic rear view mirror right there. And then you have T-Rex stamped on this model. 702 horse, 11 PSI, and it's a 2380 blower. Pretty cool. Another view of that big pano roof, and we're gonna turn it off, hop in the back, and see how we fit behind ourselves. The back door panel basically follows the same theme as the driver's side. Really nice materials, even the double pocket, which I really like, and a full-sized door pocket with a couple bottle spots. Ram on the door sill. You don't always see those door sill plates on the back seat, so I guess Ram's taking care of you back here. And the seats lift, 20/40 split, easy to do, lightweight, really good looking. We have a B pillar handle that does have some stitching, so we're gonna hop on up. At 5'11", I sit behind myself with over a hand's width of room in front of my knees. I can be a backseat driver, enjoy ventilation, plugins, and a household style outlet. I can even set my phone in here to charge while looking at the reflection off that carbon fiber type of a theme with my cup holders. From the back seat, this is the view you get. And isn't it glorious? You do have a center armrest with some cup holders in the middle. Fairly sturdy. I almost wish the cup holders were rotated 90 degrees so then you could fit your arm and have your cup. I don't know why audio manufacturers don't think of that, but it's really nice back here. Let's hop around and see what the bed looks like. You're gonna have roughly a 5.5-foot bed, and with this little controller, we can control the electronic bed cover, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, from back here, nothing too crazy, just a soft touch lower. There's no bed liner, which you would kind of expect for about 90 grand, but you do get strong tie downs at each corner, and then you get some LED lighting and additional lighting on the back of the bed cover. And then it is a pretty light lift, just like that. Then we can close it with the C, because C stands for close. This is really a pretty cool system. Hopefully it will be reliable in the long run. The passenger side door panel follows the same theme. It looks really good. These are seriously very nice. If you guys get to experience them in person, I think you'll like them. We have another map pocket, so you can have a second backseat driver, and then it's the 60 split. Otherwise, everything back here is the same. There's a decent amount of room that you could hide some stuff down there. And if you're going to be riding shotgun in the T-Rex, the door follows the same theme as the driver. You just lose a couple of those extra controls. Still, you have Ram on the door sill, powered seats. Our backpack's having a good time. TRX is stamped in. It looks so good in here. And then you have a couple of spots to have extra storage. You have like a map pocket that's traditional right there on the transmission tunnel. You have kind of like a felt lined, fairly small glove box down here, and then you have a hidden one up here, just like some of the Silverados and Sierras have. What are you gonna hide in there? Comment below. Otherwise, we're finally gonna go around to the front, pop the hood, and see what the Hellcat 6.2 Supercharged V8 looks like. There it is. You have 702 horsepower at 6,100 RPM, 650 pound-feet of torque at about 4,800 RPM. There is this ginormous plastic cover, so you can easily unpop that, as I already did, lift it out of the way. There's another logo of a T-Rex eating a Raptor, which is probably a pretty good meal for a T-Rex. Otherwise, down here you can see there's induction through the functional hood scoop. There is a giant piece of baffling. I strongly suggest you change that out for an aftermarket air intake if you're interested in hearing the supercharger whine even louder. But you have orange painted valve covers, a ginormous serpentine belt. Everything's pretty easy to get to. Reservoirs are up top where they should be. The battery's right here on the driver's side. And just look at how much air has to flow through there. It makes 700 horse. It's honestly a pretty cool setup. And if you haven't driven one, drive one. They're hilarious. Show up the hood. It's now time for my favorite part. We're going to take it on the road and see just how well it performs. Initial driving impressions of the T-Rex Ram is that it's freaking awesome. Whether you're just riding out of gear, listening to the 11 PSI of supercharged boost whine, or you're just taking it easy, chilling, driving down the country roads, enjoying great visibility, good side mirrors, good rear view mirror that goes right through the moderately large, moderately sized cabin, or you're just looking at the back seats and just enjoying your environment. You're gonna be having a good time in the Ram. Seriously, super comfortable. Dodge makes a great interior for these 5th gen trucks. It's almost pretty crazy to me that this is part of the Fiat Chrysler Association. But hey, it's a good powertrain. It's a good truck. It competes well against the competition like the Raptor Type R. Not Type R, we're not talking Hondas. Raptor R, forget Type. If you want a Type, go somewhere else, I guess. But honestly, guys, it's really cool to get to drive the Ram TRX. I've wanted to drive one of these for quite a while. Just the opportunity wasn't there in the right timing that I had available. And is it all that it's cracked up to be? I'd say so. I know these cost around 90 grand with low options. You can get up to about 100 if you have options. And I mean, it is the pinnacle of the gas truck. It is fantastic. And it makes just a really good truck in general, being able to tow 8,000 pounds, still having decent payload capacity with what this suspension setup is. But a 12-foot wheelbase, you know, at least 9.8 miles per gallon if you drive how I'm driving. It's okay. It's just really cool though, having about a foot of ground clearance, doing a full circle in under 50 feet. It's absolutely a full-size truck, but it has the name, it has the power delivery. It has a reputation now that it's been out for a couple years, and it's seriously just such a cool place to be. Interior is very comfortable. Center armrest is nice, kind of that suede material, and having your VIN number printed for you is really cool, as well as those little graphics of T-Rexes eating Raptors. I honestly love Dodge's humor in doing things like that, having the hidden storage, you know, and then just the basic truck storage where you'd otherwise have a 6-passenger seating position. It's just really cool to drive a big truck. It's just that they're expensive. Trucks these days are very pricey. So, depends what you're going to use it for. Are you going to use it for work? Or are you going to use it for play? If you buy a T-Rex, you know, it's kind of hard to imagine you're going to do anything other than accelerations like this. We are at about a mile above sea level, density altitude equivalent, so even though this is a supercharger compressor, it still loses quite a bit of power because the oxygen just is not as dense in the air mixture up here. Does that mean you can't have fun? Absolutely not. You're still going to be hearing the supercharger. In fact, when you do floor it, you're just not going to be stressing it as much because not quite as much power is going through the system. Or if you want to go down to sea level, if you have a really cool winter day, you know, that the roads are dry, you're going to be feeling quite a bit more power out of this. But even where we're at, this is pretty awesome. Having a 12-second truck, as you'll see, you know, in those objective measurements in just a couple minutes. Very cool. Overall though, speakers are decent, seats are very comfortable, they look really good, the backpack's having a good time. Because it's a truck, you know, it can accommodate 7 feet tall people or low 5 foot tall people. You can find your appropriate seating position. The pinnacle of gas trucks is here, a 700 horsepower Ram. Who would have dreamt of the day, you know, even 10 years ago, when the 5.7 Hemi was, you know, only putting out 340 horse basically. Pretty cool what we can get in the year 2023. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Have you driven one? Do you want one? I want to know all your stuff. Whatever you want to share. And it's worth mentioning, when you are in the Ram TRX, you are in a very large truck, so you're looking down on a lot of other vehicles. Keep that in mind. You can't go around a corner too fast. There is still quite a bit of body roll. But with the ginormous sidewall that these tires have, these 325, 65 18s, you do have a really cushioned ride. It does feel quite luxurious for a Dodge Ram pickup truck, believe it or not. Anyways, let's get to our private road and do that acceleration test. 0 to 60 on the TRX, we have traction control off. We're in sport mode. We are going to do the launch control button. We are in 4-wheel drive auto. And I'll verbalize the true 0 to 60 afterwards. Keep in mind, density altitude's about 5,500 feet. My private road is not a sticky drag strip, so we're probably not going to set the world record, but it's going to be fun and we'll see what it can do. Let's go. Came in at a whopping 4.73 true seconds. Quarter mile came in at 12.89. Remember, elements, they are not ideal, but that's still pretty darn quick for a mile above sea level. Let's cut to our final thoughts. Final thoughts on the Dodge Ram TRX is that it's a phenomenal truck. Sure, you can pay more for other trucks. You can get a faster truck, a more powerful truck, such as the Rivian R1T. Maybe the Tesla Cybertruck, if that ever actually comes about. But are there trucks with more character than this? Not really, especially from the factory. The Raptor R does look really good in person, and the Predator engine is fantastic. But if you like pushrod, simple engines, you like the Hellcat nameplate, you know, you've wanted one since 2015 and you finally can afford one, then this might be the truck for you. This is seriously a really cool vehicle. It was really fun to borrow and drive for the day. And it's an absolute blast. We don't know how long these will be sold for, if there'll be one when the 6th generation Ram comes out, or if they're gonna die with the 5th generation, kind of like the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk had passed when its current generation came to an end. But these are really fun. If you like fun trucks, like this video, show support if you care to. If you want to watch more of my stuff, you're welcome to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And just comment below, tell me what your thoughts, opinions are, your ownership experience, or if you want to become an owner, and all that type of stuff. Until next time, guys, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care.